How does that get developed in a guy?
It's a great question. Sometimes what makes those guys really good football players are their ability to take chances, to ability to try plays or try certain things that maybe other guys wouldn't. And sometimes it works for you and sometimes it doesn't. The key is, how do you play within structure of the offense? That's the key. How do you play within structure, do what we kind of ask you to do through a certain period of time of a course of a play. But once that breaks down, then it's on him. Then that's where the him improvising or elongating plays and doing things like that, where he comes in. So I think we just got to continue to hone in the decision making, make sure his eyes are right, his eye discipline is correct, his eyes, his thoughts, his decisions are all in the right area where it needs to be. And then from there, you got to be able to play fast and play loose. And I think Karan will definitely do that.
Last thing, TJ Fleck minced no words that he's not happy with how his defense played. When you look at Minnesota's defense, knowing they haven't played well, they want to play better, how does that influence what you're looking at, how you're preparing?
We'll get their best shot. We know that. I mean, they haven't. If they, they've suffered 2 losses just like we have. So, I'm hoping they get our best shot, and I'm sure we're expected to get their best shot. That's just natural. That's the way sports are. It's the way football is. So, if you're a competitor, you want to be the best every time you're out there. And if you wasn't as good as what you should have been the last time, then it's even more important to try to press upon your ability, or make sure that you guys are more successful than when you were before. So I would expect nothing less.
Thanks.
That's Rod, as a coach, can you describe the level of frustration for having this many guys out and knowing that, for lack of a better term, they really didn't do anything wrong. They didn't violate protocol. They didn't do anything like that. They just flat out, for no lack of a better term, just got unlucky. What's the level? What do you tell the team at that point?
Well, it's definitely a different year. It's definitely a different type of time we're in. But, I told Isaiah, I told Brandon, this is not your all's fault. We've did everything. You did everything we've asked you to do. And they have. I mean, everything's been to protocol. Everything's been pretty, for the most part, they've been great. So it's just unfortunate. Matt gets in, Matt gets hurt. Unfortunate. But Lovey always says it's next man up. It's what's got to be. It's the only way you can go about it. There's no time to feel sorry for yourself. There's no time to feel frustrated, because I promise you, Purdue or Wisconsin or Minnesota or nobody else is going to feel sorry for you. So if we're going to play, we got to be able to tee it up, play 11 at a time. The next person's got to be ready to step in that role and maximize and seize his opportunity. And that's what Karan has right now.
Another off the field question, I apologize, but is there a level of thought in anybody's head in that building of, okay, now that we've gone through this and guys are sitting out and they didn't do anything wrong, like, what are we doing? Like, what, honest to God, what are we doing here? Like, this doesn't seem like this is, this doesn't seem right. Is that popped up in conversation with the team or anything like that?
No, because the guys want to play.
Okay.
They know that, excuse me, that they're safer here with what we're doing, with all the protocols and everything we have in place, than they are just back in their room, just back at their house, because of the protocols, the testing, the way we're going about things. They're safer here than they would be anywhere else. So they don't mind it. They want to play. Is it a different situation? Absolutely it is. But at the same time, at the end of the day, they want to be able to get out and compete and play with their brothers and do what they come to go to school here to do. And that's to play football and get a great degree.
One last on the field question quickly is, were you happy with your ability through 4 quarters to be able to run the football as effectively as you did on Saturday?
I wouldn't say I'm happy. I was more pleased than it was the week before. That's obvious. So things did get better there. So there was improvement. there's still some things we got to get cleaned up. There was still a lot of missed reads, a lot of missed assignments that were costly, and we got to be better. And we got to coach them better, and we got to take what the coaching is and apply it on Saturdays as well. So there's still another level we got to get to. And we left, in my opinion, a lot of plays out on the field, left a lot of points out on the field at times. And to be a good football team, which we all want to be, and to beat a good football team, you can't play like that. You got to be able to execute, and we didn't do that.
Thanks, Rod. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mark Pearson.
Coach, what can you say about Karan Taylor's mental ability to stay in the game, even though he did make some mistakes early, to rally the troops back and give Illinois a chance to win at the end of the game?
Yeah, just tells you a lot about the young man as far as what's on the inside of him. Sometimes you can't tell what a kid has on the inside. You can look at him, watch how he throws, watch how he runs, and you try to put him in as many situations as possible to kind of evaluate that and judge that yourself. But when the situation comes, it's alive, and the bullets are flying, you see how a kid responds. For the situation he was in, like I said, I was pleased with how he responded and how he stepped in and executed offensively. Now, was there mistakes? And perhaps, absolutely, we all know that. And there's things that obviously he can't do. But I know this: if he wouldn't have been there, we wouldn't have been in that game at all. So, was happy for him and happy to look forward to seeing if he can progress and become even better this week.
Thanks, Coach.
Robert.
Thank you.
Yeah, Coach, I was curious about when Deuce Spann came in and the confusion there and then the timeout and came back out. Can you walk us through what was happening there?
Well, it was kind of a mix-up, to be honest with you. Karan was trying to motivate the team and didn't realize that we went out on offense. And we were sending the people up, trying to get everybody in red, and the play clock was running, and Deuce just jumped in, said, "I'll go take the play so we don't get a penalty," and it was one of them deals. So then once Karan figured out where he was at, we had to take a timeout. He come in and apologized. Said, "Coach, I apologize for making us take a timeout. I was trying to pump the defense up, motivate these guys, tell them stay in this thing. We're going to win this thing." So that just tells you his mindset, right? Was the timing right? Probably not, but at the heart of the matter, he had the right intentions of what he was trying to do, and just kind of tells you a little bit about Karan Taylor, what he's about. I mean, he's a team player first, and he's trying to help somebody else. He's trying to uplift somebody else in a moment of time when it probably was needed for a lot of people. So, but that's what happened.
I was also curious about the protocols for coaches. I mean, obviously, you're in the quarterback's room and the quarterback tested positive. I know there's a protocol for the players. Like, what about for you personally? Like, what has occurred since Brandon's positive test, and are there anything put in place for that?
Yeah, great question. Well, just so you know, when Brandon tested positive, obviously, we're all in there with him. We're meeting. I sit right beside him. He sits right beside me. We're in meetings for an hour at a time. So there was obviously a right for concern because it's multiple days we're in there at a time. So we test every day, just like the players. I get tested every day. All the tests came back negative, but just to be safe on my side, I went ahead and I quarantined as well for my family. I just stayed away, and I wanted to make sure. I knew I would get tested every day, but I just, I quarantined away from them, just in case. I tried to stay away from the quarterbacks as much as possible, and I did that for, at least for 48 hours, just to make sure, just to wait to see my test come back. and everything's still been coming back negative. So, which was good. And then when you find out about as far as how much his viral load was at the time he was positive, he really wasn't contagious at the time, I don't think. So, which made me feel a little bit better. But I still kept it safe. I still went ahead and tried to quarantine and get away from my family and from people in general, just to try to do as much as we can to kind of stay safe.
And are you continuing to do that? Is there a length of time that you have to do that?
No, I did that on my own. I wasn't told to do that. I just kind of did that for the sake of my family, for just to make sure. They told me I was all right because I continued to get tested, just keep getting tested. But I was just being safe, trying to make sure that trying to do my part as much as I can. That don't do nothing ill-advised where you come home and you've possibly been exposed. Try not to bring it home to your family. Try not to bring it to other people as much as possible, and just keep watching the symptoms. Keep watching everything. Check yourself. Get tested. That's what we did. So, I wasn't told to do that. I just kind of did it on my own.
Okay, thanks.
Scott Ritchie.
Hey, Rod. Did you maybe make a concerted effort to get Chase Brown more involved Saturday against Purdue as compared to the Wisconsin game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he started the ball game, so we wanted to make sure that we think his skill set is it can be really good. He's got a good size of speed and strength and athleticism and a lot of things you like about him. He just got to play more, and we just tried to make a concerted effort to make sure to get him in a game. Both him and Mike Epstein, we like both those guys, and so we just try to make a concerted effort to make sure to get him involved. And when Karan came in, we was planning on trying to run the football anyway, even when he wasn't in there. But when he came in, we just I wanted to make sure to keep him comfortable and help him out and get him comfortable, get him into rhythm before we start throwing it around a little bit. And he did some, like I say, did some good things. And, our guys, I thought we did a pretty good job running the football, much better than the week before.
I mean, that was really Chase's first game with a significant role. Did he play as maybe you expected, as you were maybe hoping over the last year plus he's been with the team?
Yeah, I thought he did a good job. Busted a couple of long runs. He runs, like you said, you watch it, he runs hard, plays hard. He plays the game hard. He's going to bust at times. He's still learning. He's still newer. And that was always the concern is in protection, is in, is in blocking at times. Is he going to block the right person, do the right, be at the right place? But for the most part, he did a pretty good job. There's some things, obviously, he'll get corrected. We need to get, that we'll moving forward. But I think overall, for the most part, I thought he played pretty well.
Thanks, Rod.
Bob.
Coach, how did Alex Pihlstrom do?
Kind of like Karan for being thrown in a situation, and that's his first start ever, and had to go against what I thought was a pretty good defensive front. I thought Alex Pihlstrom held his own and did well. So I'm excited about it because that just shows me there's another guy there that we have up front that I think we can end up winning with, and he's going to provide quality depth. In the meantime, until the other guys get back, he's going to have to continue to keep playing. And once again, we hope, like Karan, next week or this coming week will be even an upgrade or a step in the right direction as far as improving than what it was this week. So, but was really pleased with his play.
What kind of guy is he?
What's that?
What kind of guy is he?
Oh, he's a great guy. I mean, he's a team first type of guy. He played tight end and he wanted to get on the field. And we always used to notice all the time when we go down boards drills, when you're going against the defense on the boards, you're trying to drive the other person off the board. I mean, he used to walk the dog with whoever it was. I mean, he'd walk him right off the boards. And every time it's like his leverage was good. Like, damn, this kid could be if he could ever get big enough, he could probably be a pretty good offensive lineman. And he ended up naturally making the transition. He wanted to do it. completely changed his body. I mean, he's bulking up, and that just tells you his mindset. The kid just wants to play. He wants to do whatever he has to do to get on the football field. And great work ethic. Great. I mean, he's what you want in terms of a mindset of a football player. He's a strong. He's physical. He plays hard. He gets after it. So excited about him, about his future.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Alessandra.
Rod, this weekend you converted on 4 of 13 third downs, half the fourth downs. Just what will your team do to address this moving forward?
Well, we will continue to, there was several that, as in the week before, plays that, from the quarterback position, we could have made some better throws, some better decisions that would help those percentages. There was also some times where we're breaking down in routes, where we're not getting a signal completely, or we ran the wrong route. I mean, it's just like it's been a combination of just some things that we're shooting ourselves in the foot instead of what the defense is doing to us. It's us doing to ourselves. So if we can get those type of things ironed out, then we should be better on third down. We should be better on first and second down as well if we continue to clean ourselves up and then moving forward.
Jeremy.
Hey, Rod. Hope you're well. What's the focus with Karan this week? How much do you give him more? And what are the things you're really focused on correcting from last week?
Well, I mean, decision-making, the first thing we're going to correct. We can't throw the ball into the other hands, like we did. We can't lay it on the ground and just basically give up points. Can't do that. And that's not just him, that's anybody. But, I think that just becomes from one, ball security. That's a physical thing. It's not really a mental thing. It's a physical thing. So we're going to work on ball security all week. For when he does tuck it and carry it and run, he runs the ball sometimes too loose. And we got to put two hands in traffic whenever defenders are coming. From a decision-making process, that's just reps. That's just continuing to learn what we're doing, understand how a defense is trying to play you, and know when is a good football play and when there's sometimes you got to just throw the ball away, right? You got to eat it and live to play the next down sometimes. And he's got to do a better job of doing that, and he will. I mean, it's not atypical. I mean, he'll get better at it.
Thanks, Rod. Go ahead, Robert.
Robert, quickly.
Sorry, Rob. Just one quick follow up on that. So on the Deuce Spann thing, I'm trying to figure out why he was warming up. So I had seen him warming up on the sideline, and then he came in. Is that just a typical thing that they're doing, or is there, I'm just curious as to, I saw his teammates congratulating him and slapping on the back during the timeout. So I was tweeting at the time that he was coming in. So I'm trying to get to the understanding of why he was warming up.
The only thing I could tell you is he's warming up just to stay loose. I didn't tell him to get loose. He wasn't told to get loose. He was probably getting congratulated because he was Johnny on the spot and realized Karan wasn't ready, and he jumped in and said, I'm gonna take it over for a snap until he's ready to roll. So just to keep everything, I'm assuming. I mean, it was kind of crazy. I mean, it was kind of a weird deal because we're sitting there, we're talking to huddle, and they're like, where's Karan? And we're trying to find him, can't find him. They find him down on the other side. And the next thing you know, I see Deuce running in. So I think Deuce was just basically stepping in and saying, I'll take it for the first snap if we have to. And then that way we have to burn a timeout. Well, we end up using a timeout, obviously, to get it right. But no, it wasn't not that I was putting him in or told him to get loose. That's probably just him on his own, just staying ready. I mean, he was ready mentally if we needed him right there, obviously. And I'm sure he's just staying ready to go just in case his number's ever called.
Okay.
Or I probably think his numbers will get called. You just never know.
We're going to move on to Jake here. Thank you, Rod.
Yep.